Hello, welcome to week 5, Equity and Access. Once again, the talking head is going to be in the corner while I review our agenda, and then the talking head is going to go away. I want to, because when we finish this week, we'll be 1/3 of the way through the course. So I want to do a calendar review to take a look at where we are and where we're going. Then we're going to focus most of the time on a response to reading. And we're going to take a look at Warscher and Matuchniak, and we're going to focus on that article. I do want you to go ahead and read Shu because it's filled with a really great table that talks about factors in technology for reaching diverse learners in math, and the math tools referenced you may want to take a look at for your math tool screencast or to bring into your classroom. And the table is a really good place, but I wanted to keep it down to a minimum number of questions this week because we're not going to answer them in the traditional discussion in the forums. I want to do some scaffolded screencasting practice to get you sort of over the hump of actually doing screencasting. So we're going to be discussing the reading via some screen or podcasts. And then I'm going to ask you to review 2 of your classmates' websites. And that's going to be the bulk of this week. I also want to introduce you to the Intel short course that you'll be starting next week, and you'll do weeks 6 through 8. Let's start with a quick look at where we are. We're at week 5. Next week will be week 6, and week 6 through week 8 will be the Intel short course. It has an orientation and then 5 modules. Each module is followed by a discussion, and at the end of the whole short course, you will have produced a collaboration action plan that will be submitted. Week 9, Group 2 facilitates. Week 11, Group 3 facilitates. Week 13, Group 4 facilitates, and Week 15, Group 5 facilitates. This means that at the end of Week 8, Group 2 has to have posted their class, essentially, what we're going to do. And at the end of Week 10, same as Group 3, at Week 12 for 4, and Week 14 for Group 5. During week 6, as you're getting started with the Intel class, I will send emails out to each group trying to set up a time where we can do a collaboration synchronously, either through Google Hangouts or Adobe Connect or other vehicles, but just to make sure that everyone's on the same page and getting off to a right start, and I'm comfortable about where it's going. As for assignments, the website, your draft was due February 15th, so that your classmates can get started this week on reviewing your website. The final version is due March 1st. That one will be graded by me according to the rubric, but then you're given a chance, if you want to, not required, to submit revisions for more points, higher grade, by April 19th. The Intel collaboration plan will be due March 15th when you have finished up the Intel short course. Your YouTube critique assignment, the draft, is due March 29. The final, April 5th. The Math 2 screencast or grant proposal, your idea is due by March 1st. Your draft, that could be a storyboard, or you've chosen the grant and began to outline what you're going to do on 3/8, and the final is due by April 12th. Your class facilitation reflection is due the week after you facilitate the class. Your group facilitates the class. And then finally, the analysis of my Learning ePortfolio is due on basically the last day of this course, May 15th. Let's go ahead and take a look from the syllabus. Here you see, right from inside the syllabus, the assignments that are sort of summarized up. Each week, you're given a participation score. It's 10 points per week. It totals to 15% of the course. So as you can see, each week is worth a percentage of the course for the activities that you do. You were all given 50 points for creating your blog, and that should be scored in your gradebook already. You will be scored a total of 50 points for your website, and that will be multiplied by 4, and the website makes up 20% of your grade. Basically, you will be scored up for 45 points, and you get 5 points for turning in your draft and doing the critiques of your classmates' sites. The Intel Short Course Collaboration Action Plan. So each week, doing the discussions will be what you get your participation points on, and then the collaboration action plan is worth an additional 5% or 50 points. The YouTube assignment, which is a group assignment. The draft storyboard is due by March 29th, and the final cut is due by April 5th. Again, it will be scored against 50 points that will be multiplied by 2 to make up 10% of the course. The Screen Math Tool, or the Screencast of a Math Tool, or writing a grant proposal. You're going to identify what you're going to do in the topic by March 1st. Your proposal, it's just sort of a rough of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, just sort of keep you on track, is due by March 8th. And then the assignment is due by April 12th. Again, that's worth 50 points, and it's multiplied by 2. If you're doing points as opposed to percentages, it's worth 10% of the class. The class discussion facilitation, which is done in groups, is also worth 10 points. You'll be scored on a 25-point rubric, and that will be multiplied by 4. And part of that includes a reflection, which is due 1 week following the class facilitation. And finally, your culminating assignment, the analysis of my e-learning portfolio, is due on May 15th, which is just a couple of days before graduation. If you have any questions about any of this, please, if it's one you think everyone might have, put it in the teacher's lounge. If not, send me an email. I want you to take your time. If you haven't read the Warshauer and Matuszniak article, you should stop now and take your time with it. What I have done is set up a VoiceThread discussion. And there's a page on Titanium that has the VoiceThread discussion embedded in it, and you can comment on that page, or you can go straight to the VoiceThread. You've been provided a link. And what you're going to do is, on 3 different slides, I have provided a quote from the section, and then I have a question or questions about the based on that quote. And I'm going to ask you to comment, basically give your response in a audio comment in VoiceThread. You just hit the comment button, you give your comment, you stop the comment, and you save it. Make sure you save it. Then you go on to the next slide. There will be 3 distinct slides, one for access, one for use, and one for outcomes. So step 1 this week is to comment on access, use, and outcomes using VoiceThread. In the section starting on page 213 of the article, Warshauer and Matuszniak lay out 5 recommended steps for overcoming what they call the new divide. I want you to pick one of those steps, talk about what it might look like in your classroom, in your school, in your district, in your community, and what barriers you see to taking that step, or hurdles that make it difficult. And I want you to do that via a short, under 5 minutes please, talking head video. You can either provide the video in. This has a discussion forum on titanium, and you may provide the video either has a link, or you may just embed it in the post that you put. The quickest, easiest way to do this is, if you don't have a YouTube channel, to create a YouTube channel and then use YouTube. They have my webcam. I've put a link to the page that tells you how to do this. You simply can record directly from your webcam, and it directly loads into YouTube. And there you have a link, or you can actually embed or save the video and put it into your discussion post. The last step this week is to review the websites of 2 of your classmates. I'm going to go out to our titanium site to show you how that works. On our titanium site, the database is linked several times, but the first time it shows up is on the bottom of week 1. It's called the blog and website database. If you click on that and then scroll to the bottom, make sure you have 20 entries that will show you everybody, and then sort by first and last name, ascending, and save that. Then you should have a list that starts with Asher and ends all the way at the bottom with Tammy. Now the instructions are, you're going to review the website of the 2 people below your entry. So Asher would review Carol and Christina. Christina would review Dave, and David. When you get to my entry, just skip it, pretend it isn't there. At the very bottom, Stephen would review Tammy and then go up to the top, review Asher, and Tammy would review the first 2 on the list. You will place your reviews in week 5 on step 3 in the forum. Add a new discussion topic for each website you review and place their name and then say by your name, so we know whose site's being reviewed and who's doing the review. And see if you can make some constructive suggestions for your classmates to improve their website. Please use the class or teacher or class website rubric in your review. Finally, after this week, the next 3 weeks, you will not have a PowerPoint and a screencast posted, because you'll be going through the Intel short course in weeks 6, 7, and 8. Well, you'll be responsible for reviewing that and completing that. Each module has a section in the collaboration action plan that you're going to turn in, and then doing the discussion that comes at the end of each module. On our titanium site, we have week 6, and I've opened up week 6, week 7, and week 8 so that you can go through it at your own pace. You're going to read an introduction, review the course details, complete the orientation, and then complete Module 1 and do the Module 1 discussion in week 6. But you can do these at your own pace, as long as we're getting finished by March 15th. And then you'll complete Module 2 and 3 and their discussions. And in week 8, you're scheduled to complete Modules 4 and 5 and their discussions, and then to submit the Intel Collaboration Action Plan. And the template that you're filling out for that is underneath step 5 in week 8. When you're viewing these Intel modules, if you run into any problems about them not opening up or not running, please go back and check something I told you about at the very beginning of this course. At the very top here where I'm scrolling, it says warning about blocked content. Depending on your browser, Titanium works with browsers to block content. This may also happen with VoiceThread this week also. And so right here is a page that goes through what to look for and actually has a picture of what you might see on Firefox or Chrome. On Firefox, you'll see a warning at this side of the top of the browser, and you have to just click that and say allow content, don't block content from this site. And you have to do the same thing, but on Chrome, it's over there. So please, I guarantee you that VoiceThread and Intel might be blocked their first time you're using them on your Titanium site in your browser, and you will have to unblock them. So where did I find this warning and this information? Let's go back to where I was. I was on our website at the very top, over here in Course Resources. And you scroll down, it says warning about blocked content. So if you find either of those are not working, the first place you should go is to this page and double check that your content is not being blocked. At the end of week 5, I once again asked you about the length of time it took to do the 3 steps. And I ask for your feedback. This is an anonymous course feedback. It doesn't record who makes it, and you can enter more than once. You can answer one of the 6 questions or all of the 6 questions or any combination. I will not know who has said what. I will just get the feedback. So if you want to influence where we're going from here, this would be a way to do it. Good luck. I look forward to communicating with you outline. I will send out news forum announcements on a regular basis to remind you during weeks 6, 7, and 8 where you should be and what you should be doing.